got some news that dropped today on the PlayStation blog regarding the PlayStation Portable remote device, which is going to be priced at $199.99 plus some new audio tech. So let's go ahead and jump first into the new portable device. And there it is. It looks a lot like a DualSense controller with a phone snapped in the middle. It's an 8-inch screen. Those are DualSense controllers, so they have all the haptic feedback that you would expect in a current DualSense controller. And that is not a phone screen. That is actually the device as it looks. I thought initially you were going to somehow slide your cell phone in. Nope, it is all encapsulated in one solid unit, and that's going to set you back $200 US. So what the hell is it? Well, it's the PlayStation Portal remote player. I don't know why they just call it PlayStation Portable, honestly, but okay. So what does it do? Okay, so it's got all the key features of the DualSense wireless controller that we talked about, including the haptic triggers and haptic feedback. It's an 8-inch LCD screen that's capable of 1080p 60. But what does it actually do? Well, it is a wireless device that uses Wi-Fi to connect to your existing PlayStation 5. So you turn your PlayStation 5 on, you take this device either downstairs or across the world, and you are able to play your PlayStation games on this device. Now, the key with a device like this is it is your PlayStation. That's your friends list. That's your home screen. That's your settings. That's your achievements. That's everything you do. It is just like logging in remotely. And I know remote play is not a new thing. It has not been a new thing for a very, very long time. As a matter of fact, PlayStation 3 was supporting variants of remote play as well. Microsoft has been doing this. Sorry, I'm getting choked up. Microsoft has been doing this on the Xbox and the Windows setup for years and years and years now. As a matter of fact, when I first started my YouTube channel, I actually used Xbox streaming so I can record video, because back then the native console didn't even support that. So anyways, it's going to be on Wi-Fi. It's going to connect to your PlayStation 5, and it includes a 3.5mm audio jack for wired audio. Note that PlayStation VR2 games, which require the headset, are not supported, which makes sense. It's a bandwidth issue. So there's a little cute screenshot of Astro and your home screen, right? That's you. And it's going to launch for $199.99. Now, before I get down into the audio piece, I have always had massive reservations when it comes to online streaming for a lot of reasons. Namely, the audio quality and the visual quality suffers greatly. And I know when Xbox was building up Project xCloud and starting to offer that service, I did dabble with it on my cell phone, and I did play through it numerous times, and I didn't like it. You get massive graphical artifacting. The darks aren't as dark as they should be. You get a lot of those little square pixelization, which is artifacting and just a different word. Ultimately, it wasn't a very solid or clear experience to me, and it wasn't one that I enjoyed. I would always prefer to play my console as plugged into a source rather than try to stream it, whether through Steam Deck, whether through AirPlay, or any other variant that exists. This is going to do its best. Obviously, it's capable of only 1080p, but at 60 frames a second. The rationale behind this is it's probably just too much power for the PlayStation to encode and decode a signal decently. Now, I'll tell you that right now, when you try to stream a game on PlayStation, go back and look at some of my recent PlayStation videos. Those are ripped right off of Twitch. And ask yourself if that is quality that you are satisfied with playing remotely. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I think the exclusion of an OLED screen was made primarily to drive costs down. I do like the idea of a haptic feedback, but this does lend itself well to people who collect games digitally, as opposed to me, who likes to have discs of everything. So if you're a person who has a disc and you bought this device and you go travel somewhere and you want to log in, you're going to basically be playing the game that's in your console. You're not going to be able to quickly jump between two things. This is also absolutely an avenue to get people into the PlayStation streaming ecosphere. Of course, the fact that you'll be able to have that catalog of streaming games on this device with a Wi-Fi signal absolutely lends itself well into you getting this device. So it's interesting. It's definitely not a use case for me because of the requirement of decent Wi-Fi and the fact that if you're tethered to a home console, you're limited to the digital library on that console. That said, it will come out later this year, and I suspect it'll do pretty well, considering that PlayStation does not currently offer a kind of turnkey solution when it comes to actually using a device like this. Jumping down to the other piece that they're announcing, we have the Pulse Elite wireless headset and the Pulse Explore wireless earbuds. Now, the headset is an interesting solution. There is already a headset, and I refer back again to the audio playlist that I've put together, which collects multiple headsets and devices on how to get the best audio out of your home console. But these are two new solutions that are going to try to increase PlayStation's new calibration, I guess, in the way that they want to deliver audio to you by using lossless audio. So if you're not really familiar with lossless audio, I'm not going to spend too long on it, but it's generally accepted as 44.1 kilohertz, 16-bit audio, which is basically a sample rate that's akin to most CDs. It's basically what you've probably listened to most of your life if you had any CD player at any point in time. What it really does, though, and why it's, I believe, coming out now, especially in an announcement like this, is it is a low latency solution that is very quickly able to stream. And what you don't want to have happen is you don't want to have a device like this where the audio is out of sync by even, 200 or 300 milliseconds. That would be noticeable. You would shoot your gun and then you would hear the sound slightly later. That would not be a solid experience. So it makes sense to me that they are investing in a lossless audio solution to reduce the time of audio processing. And that is exactly what these devices are set to do. Now, it does have some slightly different form factor than what we have seen on the existing PlayStation headphones. They're still going to have that traditional kind of matte finish, the white and the black finish. And I believe if they talk about it, there's a little boom mic that they've added and a little head clip here, which will allow you to hang it from a wall. So you could put it on the wall behind you, I guess, and snap it down. Does it say anything else? I think those are the two big takeaways when I read through this earlier. Let's see. Planar magnetic drivers. I guess that is an interesting solution as well. Right now, most headphones do not use planar magnetic. There's only a very small set of brands that do. It has been widely discussed over what is a more natural sound. Planar magnetic are supposed to deliver a lot harder bass at lower sound levels. They're also heavier. I mean, I'm not talking like putting bowling balls on your head, but they are not just, they are definitely going to be heavier than your standard cans that you get now. But that is an interesting solution that they're doing that. They are going to remain closed. Obviously, they have that big plastic case over the top, so they're not going to breathe very well, but they will have that kind of sound insulation to them. And again, if you're going back to pairing this with the wireless device, the PlayStation Portal, you're probably going to be playing this somewhere where you're around other people, where you're going to probably want to have some sort of noise isolation as well, which does make sense. They're also offering the basically in-ear buds, very similar to, I mean, most earbuds that you've seen in the past. I don't think there's anything exciting or exotic here. Note that the PlayStation Elite will run 149 and the Pulse Elite will run 149 and the Pulse Explore will be 199. So slight price difference there as well. And then it comes with a little carrying case, and it's got that PlayStation aesthetic, that flat white matte colored finish, and a little light there to show you if it's charging or whatever, which is kind of nice. It does also have the retractable boom mic. Unlike the other ones right now where it's kind of like built in, this will have a little bit more for you to use as well, which is kind of nice. It is also going to include the PlayStation Link. So PlayStation Link is the new kind of tech that PlayStation has done kind of on their back end. What does it mean for you? Well, it means that the Pulse headset can be used to connect to a PlayStation 5 while you are talking on a mobile phone. So you can answer a call at the same time while you're, doing something, which is nice. A lot of the original PlayStation headsets were via a wireless USB dongle. Those led to massive amounts of interference. If you didn't have a direct line of sight, if another USB was plugged in, you'd get this kind of humming or buzzing. Again, all of that's covered in my audio playlist in just great detail. But the fact that they're getting away from all of that and going to a PlayStation Link solution is a much, much cleaner solution. I think, to me, that is the win here rather than the headset. I would still love to see Sony actually put out a headset, though, that was open back. I think that would be very interesting, particularly if it was custom tuned to the Tempest 3D audio engine that they support. I think you could see some really cool, well, you wouldn't see anything, but I think you'd hear some really, really cool things from that. So there's a list of everything that is covered today in the PlayStation blog. It's a cool tech dump of sorts. If you have any questions on the audio piece, please leave a comment below. I will do my best to answer each and every one of you. For me, I think all three of these are passes. The way I personally play, the portable device doesn't really make sense for my lifestyle. And there is absolutely no way that any wireless solution will sound better than what I currently have running the Shithell 2 with a pair of Sennheisers. It's just not going to happen. So for me, it's a pass, but for others who are looking for that functionality, if you haven't yet dabbled into planar magnetic drivers, that may be something worth considering too. You will get a slightly different audio experience. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.